Hello, everyone. Welcome to the summer edition of the Running Club at UC Riverside podcast, episode 11. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm your host, Daniel Yang, president of Running Club, with my co-host, Thomas Kawase, vice president of Running Club. Today, we have a very special guest speaker, American Olympic athlete, Brenda Martinez.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
No worries. I'll do anything for my alumni. So thank you for having me.
Brenda is a track and field athlete specialized in middle distance races, representing Team USA and Team New Balance. She won a silver medal in the 800 meter at the IAAF World Championships in Moscow in 2013. She competed at the Rio 2016 Summer Olympics in the 1500. Brenda ran collegiate at our very own UC Riverside, finishing second at the NCAA Women's Outdoor Track and Field Championships in the 1500. It is my privilege to introduce Brenda Martinez, and it is so great to have you with us today.
So starting off, I grew up watching Olympians on TV, and I was just wondering, how or when were you able to realize that you would become an Olympian?
Yeah, I think that's any kid's dream. It's okay to dream big, but as a child, I remember watching the games. I think my one that I actually paid attention for the first time was Atlanta in '96. I was getting familiar with the sport. I had been running since I was 5, so I think I started paying more closer attention to the track world. But yeah, once I started getting better throughout the years, I knew that was something I wanted to accomplish. I know that's a hard goal to attain, but it's very doable. But I'm fortunate that I had the right people guiding me, throughout the whole year, so to make it possible.
Was it a specific moment where you just watched those marathons and you're like, oh, I could do that, because even that's something huge to say, to be
yeah, it can be one race or anything that can just drive that motivation, that you get that same feeling as maybe that athlete that won the race or even got a medal. You're like, I want that for myself. You feel proud for them as well too. I love the marathon. I love watching it. I definitely get a lot of motivation from our marathon here in the US, our athletes. But yeah, I love what the sport's about. And I feel like not many things in the, in the world can do that. The marathon, the Olympics can bring people together,
Yeah.
Politics can't do that. Religion can't do that. All these sort of things can't do that, but sport can do that. And I'm so proud of that. So
it's awesome, honestly.
All right. So for me, both Thomas and I are business majors at UCR, and I'm just wondering, what subject did you study at UCR at your time at UCR?
So I went into the sociology department, and I got an emphasis on law and society. I just thought, okay, maybe I'm going to be a sheriff or, join the police academy and stuff like that. But just plans changed. My junior year, I had a breakthrough. I was runner-up at NCAAs. And I just felt like there was more in me that summer, and I wanted to race more. There was no more races in the US, so I ended up saving up for my passport. I got my passport, and I did a circuit of races in Belgium and in Germany for a month. I stayed in Europe for about a month, and I brought my times down even further, so I improved my times. And I think that kind of caught the eyes for people to look at me, especially sponsors and agents. So once I graduated, I tried having something set by that time, and I was very fortunate enough to catch the eyes of New Balance, and I've been with them for about 10 years now. So. Dang.
Wait, so going into college, you didn't even know if running was going to be your career, or?
No, I didn't. I just thought, oh, well, I think I'm pretty good at it, and I just didn't know if I had the potential to take it to the next level, especially at the elite level. And, my sophomore year, I made it to the Olympic trials. It was more of an experience for me. And I was kind of, not to be honest, I was intimidated by the girls because they were just kind of blowing me out of the water. But I think the more time I spent and just improving every single year and chipping away at the times, then I kind of was getting that sense hey, maybe I can do this. So me going to Europe, I think that kind of solidified everything, this is something I want to do once I graduate. So.
Dang. Well, so me and Daniel are both business majors, and we were just curious about how you balance your running career with the business side of running.
I have so many stories, but like coming out of college, you know, if you're one of the top collegiate athletes, you take the route of finding a really good agent and finding a group to join, like an elite group. My path wasn't so, it was very unorthodox and none of that happened. I mean, I did have an agent, but he wasn't, to be honest, he wasn't really that great. He had his favorites. So I changed 3 agents throughout my whole career, and now I just represent myself. And it's not so much like, oh, I'm saving money. It's not that. It's, I need someone to work for me and, you know, do their part if I'm doing my part, you know, on the side of running. So, yeah, I think I made a name for myself. So I can just represent myself, and I have a really good relationship with the meet directors and, you know, other coaches and whatnot. So, yeah, it's hard at times, you know, trying to send invoices and, you know, trying to get into races and stuff like that. But, I can do it. You know, it's definitely tough, and it's a learning lesson for me as well.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for our viewers, if anyone wants to become like a professional runner, like how important would you say like the business side is for the career?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have one job to do, and that's to run. But everything that comes with it, you know, you want to have stability. You want to know that your schedule is, you know, set ahead of time. You know, you want to have time to train for that particular race or make it to a national championship. So everything has to be planned out, and just prepare for anything as well. You know, sometimes an injury can sideline you, or sickness, or anything. So yeah, I think planning goes a lot into it, and just trying to be consistent with that is going to be the biggest thing, I feel like.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So a lot about planning and
yes, you have to prepare. Yeah, it's always about preparing, and even when things don't go as planned, have plan B and be prepared for it and respond in a proper manner as well.
Yeah, because things don't always go as expected.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you don't want to react, you want to respond, you know, to the situation. So I've learned that.
Yeah, that's good. Reacting versus responding.
Yeah.
For sure. I've heard about your Big Bear altitude training camp where high schoolers can apply for it, and like our viewers who are high schoolers, I highly encourage you to apply for it. And Brenda, can you like explain a little bit more about like the camp and why you chose Big Bear as your location for training?
Yeah. So I had an agreement with my coach, and he told me if for this relationship to work, I had to be at altitude. And, you know, I'm originally from Rancho Cucamonga, and it was just kind of a no-brainer to pick Big Bear. It's right, you know, it's right there. It's like everything's close. So, yeah, not too far from civilization, you know, but it works for training. And, you know, in 2013, I had a talk with my coach, and I told him, hey, coach, I want to give back to the sport. I'm talking to high schools when they come up here for summer camp with their teams. They come up for a few days, you know, maybe a week.
Yeah, I did that in high school too.
Yeah, see, and I would talk to these groups for maybe for an hour, but I felt like I wasn't doing enough, or maybe, you know, maybe I was, I don't know, but I told him I wanted.
You felt like
more.
You could do more or something. Yeah,
exactly, and he just blurted it out. He's like, "Why not have a girls' camp?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's like the best idea ever!" And so yeah, we made it in a way so that they wouldn't be breaking any like eligibility rules. So we made it into a writing contest. So they have to submit a letter to me, and from there, I just picked 10 to 12 girls. Now it's open nationwide, and yeah, we've been having it the last 7 years. We're working on 8, and I just announced it. So now we're allowing boys, but just for the safety of others, it's going to be virtual, and my sponsors come in and help. So I'm going to try to give them the best experience, and you know, we're going to cover topics, injury prevention, positive thinking, mindset, those things that I feel like young athletes need, you know, especially when they go into college, and you know, and after that, the real world. So
yeah, like what are you looking for those essays? Like
anything, you know, it's open prompt. I just want to get hooked. I want to know who you are as a person, you know, and just be honest, like your adversities, your fears, your doubts, or what you want to be when you grow up, things like that. You know, these young minds are so eager to learn, and I want to take it as like a mentorship. So I want to do what I can with the platform that I have, and just try to help our youth, because they're the next wave of maybe professional athletes, doctors, or whatever they want to get into, you know. So hopefully I can be like a positive impact in that sense, and just help them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of like runners usually start very young too,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
high school or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for my next question, like injuries are something that happens unfortunately to athletes. And during my senior year as a captain, I was training with my co-captain Chloe Arriaga, who
Uh-huh.
actually ran the Junior Olympics, and as a result, I had a stress fracture injury
Oh,
that
wow.
ended my varsity season. So I was just wondering if you have any advice for dealing with the mental side when it comes to like physical injuries.
Yeah. Just you have to look at it very differently, and you can't force it. Like wanting to get back there, you start to worry, I'm losing fitness, everyone's leaving me, that way of thinking, it's going to be so bad for your well-being, and you can get in your head easily, so I think trying to prevent that, just enjoy what you're doing and just focus on just trying to get better every single day. I know it's easier said than done, but I had a really nasty injury last year and I only raced once. But I just had to slow things down and just take my time and just know I'm going to bounce back from this. And I'm just going to control what I can control today. Everything else is just kind of out of my control. I don't know what I can do, a week from now, but I can do something today that's going to help me, So
Hmm.
yeah, just, I guess
Trying to do
it's
the
more
most
of a
that you can,
process.
right? Because like when during that senior year, I remember going on the elliptical and trying to like I had a stress fracture injury, and so like I
Oh
try
yeah,
to
no
do
impact. Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I know a lot of runners like a lot
Yeah,
of shin splints and all that.
yeah, I got shin splints in high school, and then I remember I started doing the cross training with like swimming and then going on the bike too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. And, I think it's important to have like a prehab routine. Like I spend almost an hour every single morning just working on prehab. Like I soak my feet in a hot bucket of water with Epsom salt, and that takes like 30 minutes. And then I get into my hip mobility stuff, my activation stuff, and I focus a lot on my hips,
I
because
see.
that's where you want all the power to come from, and
Hmm.
if your hip's not doing its job, then you're going to have like more loading on one side. It can take a toll on your knee, your Achilles and whatnot. So I have to make sure my hips are on point before I even get out the door. Yeah.
What are some like activities that you do like when you get into an injury? Like,
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think it's good to kind of do something, pick up on a hobby that's not related to running. Find something that's going to challenge you. For me,
hmm,
it's been woodworking. My dad gave me a lot of his tools, so I've been doing a lot of stuff around the house, my little DIY project. So that's
nice.
been easing my mind, especially the last year. But now that I'm healthy, I try to still do those things too. But it's healthy to take some time to yourself and do those things, as long as it's challenging yourself and it's teaching you to be patient, and that's been my whole deal. So I think it's good to do that and it not be so much about the running. There is more to life than just running.
I see. Yeah.
Hmm.
How do you feel going into the 2021 Olympics?
Pretty good. I'm healthy. I feel like my prehab has been so beneficial. I haven't even seen a therapist since like January, and I'm like the fittest I've been. I'm
Oh, nice.
I'm healthy. So I know what I'm doing is working, and yeah, I'm just trying to stay fit right now. We don't know if there's going to be any races this season, but we're still going to prepare and act like there might be a season. So yeah, going into it, I just want to be confident and have fun. I haven't raced in a very long time,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was nice to get that reset as well. Because it's making me hungry coming back into the sport.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling that because like I don't I wanted to do the LA Marathon, but like I don't even know if it's gonna happen. But I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
I'm just gonna try to like train in case it happens.
yeah, exactly. Hopefully,
All right.
fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. So this is one of our ending segments. We call it the final kick. So we're
Okay.
gonna ask you 10 questions, and we just want you to try to answer them as fast as you can.
Oh shoot. Okay.
All right. So what is your favorite running event?
800 meters.
How many times a week do you run?
Pretty much twice a day. I'm running about 80 to 85 miles a week right now.
Dang.
Yeah.
Uh, how many shoes do you or what shoes do you run in?
I do the New Balance 880s, the newest versions. So they can take a lot of the mileage.
I
Hmm.
see. Hot or cold?
Hot, I think. I don't know. Yeah, hot. Just do hot.
All right. On my rest days, I like to.
Nap. I'm a really good napper, so I'm gonna nap after this.
Which coach would you like to give a shout out to?
My youth coach, Coach Carlton and Tierney, and obviously my current coach, Dr. Joe Vijo.
All right. Do you like running the 400 or the mile more?
The mile. The 400 is so nerve-wracking. Yeah.
What time do you usually wake up?
On average, like 7 in the morning.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran a marathon?
No. I think my longest run ever is like 16 miles. And I was pretty dead after that.
What's your favorite breakfast?
Oatmeal with yogurt and no sugar in my coffee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really tasty too. Is there like a type of diet that you have?
Yeah, we've been working on it more. Yeah, I can't eat the same things that I used to eat when I was in my 20s, my early 20s. We've been doing a little bit lower carbs. So I try to I maybe do about 150, 160 carbs per day of carbs. So yeah, I think that's been helpful for me. And I don't want to use up all my insulin right now. So we're mindful of that.
What's your main source of carbs? Like spaghetti or bread or?
Bread, but even we try to do more of like a better version of the carbs. So we do like sourdough bread. We'll do pizza, but we'll do like the thin crust, so we don't want to go crazy with it, but we definitely need carbs, because we need them to think. So that's how our brain survives.
Sounds very tasty. Usually we end up leaving our viewers with a quote. So however, Brenda, do you have like any last piece of advice for our viewers at home?
Yes. Mindset's going to be everything. Everything is 9 inches above the shoulders. So you have to do what you can to feed your mind positive thoughts, even when you're not feeling, as great or, maybe doubtful. So taking care of your mindset and just, if you have to read up on things and do that. But yeah, I think the mind can get you to do incredible things. So if you can go there in the body, you can definitely, if you can go there in the mind, you can go there in the body. So I always tell myself that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brenda,
thanks for having me.
Show.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry. Remember to follow Brenda on Instagram at bmartrun and Running Club Instagram, Running Club at UCR. We hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and thank you so much. And that's all the time we have today for the show. Thank you.